So the advantage here is single venous access, that is we puncture only one vein and through the same vein collection is done and the remaining component is given back to the donor through the same vein. Okay. Disadvantage here is time taken is more. It takes more time for collection, processing and giving back the unit, not required unit to the donor takes time. Extracorporeal blood collection is more. Next, moving on to the continuous flow centrifugation. In this procedure, the blood is withdrawn, processed and returned to the individual simultaneously. So both works are done side by side. Since the blood is drawn and returned continuously during the procedure, two venous access are necessary. The blood is withdrawn from an individual with the assistance of a pump mixed with the anticoagulant and collected in a chamber in CS 3000. Separation of the component is achieved through centrifugation and the component is diverted to the collected in a collection bag. Separation of the component is achieved through centrifugation and the component is diverted to be collected in a collection bag. The remainder of the component is reinfused to the individual through the second venous site. Advantage: the time required is less extracorporeal blood is required. Disadvantage: two access required, that is two veins are punctured. So this is continuous flow centrifugation. With this we have finished with the separation using the centrifuge. Next we have separation by membrane filtration, which is of not much in use. It is used only for therapeutic removal of abnormal plasma or collection of plasma, but not for collection of cellular components. The third step is by separation by adsorption, which may be used for selective removal of pathological materials, for example removal of LDLs, where much of importance is not given. Next we move on to the individual separation. Coming on to the first separation, that is platelet pheresis. Platelet pheresis, as the name suggests, it is the removal of platelets from the donor and return of red cells, white cells and plasma to the donor. Routine procedure takes about 90 minutes to 2 hours. This collected unit can be stored for 5 days, but as usual platelets when stored, it is stored at a temperature of 22 degrees centigrade and with continuous agitation. That is, it is stored in a platelet agitator. Indications are same as that of the platelet concentrate, that is thrombocytopenia, aplastic anemia, bone marrow transplantation. There are other few points to be kept in mind during this platelet pheresis, which I have already discussed. That is, obtained from the platelet is obtained from a single donor, so there is less risk of transfusion transmitted diseases. Also, it contains 3 into 10 to the power 11 platelets per unit and equivalent, which is equivalent to 6 units of platelet concentrate. It can be used to obtain platelets from donor with the matched HLA phenotypes. In case of platelet pheresis, the donor selection criteria, which I have already discussed in the beginning of the apheresis class, that is, you must along with the general consideration, in case of platelets we have to look into the platelet time interval, that is at least 48 hours time gap must be kept, and the platelet count should be more than 1.5 lakhs. This is about platelet pheresis. Next, moving on to the leukapheresis. Leukapheresis, as already told, removal of leukocytes or WBCs with return of red cells, platelets and plasma back to the donor. It is required for treating the sepsis condition, that is in case of septic conditions. Granulocyte concentrate must contain minimum of 1 into 10 to the power 10 granulocytes. The shelf life of these granulocytes are 24 hours. The granulocyte collection is yield by apheresis procedure can be increased by giving steroids to the donors or giving additional red cell aggregating agents, that is HES, that is hydroxyethyl starch. No. Or you can even give corticosteroids. By giving this, the yield of granulocyte can be increased. When you give corticosteroids, it increases the vascular pool of the WBCs by stimulating the bone marrow to increase the cellular output of the blood. Example for corticosteroids are dexamethasone or prednisolone. Next, moving on to neocytopheresis. Neocytopheresis is neocytes, that is young RBCs, and they are larger, less denser, and hence can be separated from the old red blood cells. These neocytes have longer cell survival and are indicated in patients requiring repeated transfusion. Example, thalassemia major. The administration of neocytes will improve management by, that is, they reduce the need for frequent transfusion and the rate of iron deposition, that is, every time you give the blood, what happens, the iron concentration increases. So in case you give the patient with neocytes, what happens, it reduces the rate of iron deposition. The procedure takes about 3 to 4 hours, but here it is expensive and also time consuming.